The two most important values for any science is humility and curiosity. In fact, for any learning is humility and curiosity in that order. Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am grateful to be here, and I am glad to be here. Dr. Kevin Jones was giving a TED Talk recently, and I had the opportunity to listen to it. Dr. Jones is a pediatric cancer specialist. Specializes in sarcoma, primarily in young children. And he has found that in order for him to grow and to serve his patients in the highest and best way, that he has to remain in that experimental attitude where he's constantly learning. He looks at each child as an outlier from which they can learn. And he thinks when we lead them on by saying, oh, this is an absolute, or if you do this, then this will happen, that oftentimes when we're at that absolute stage, that we've lost our humility because we come across like we know it all and they believe us all, and therefore consequently we lose our ability to continue to learn, to be curious, and to ask more questions. A very interesting perspective, and I thought about it as it relates to just learning in general. I thought about empowered wealth and how our mindset is, and we've identified two characteristics that we think are a part, two of the characteristics we've defined as part of the empowered wealth mindset is curiosity and humility. But I never really put the two together. What he did was build a bridge that showed me how the two can actually work together. You know, if we don't have humility, then we will honestly stop inquiring about things. When someone reaches that point to where they feel like they know it all, or they're embarrassed, or they're in a scarcity mindset, or they're puffing themselves up, then they're not going to be able to learn. You may have heard me define arrogance in the past as arrogance is an outward display of a lack of gratitude. It's also an outward display of a lack of competence, but think about it as gratitude. When we really think about humility, isn't humility when true humility is not just being cowering down or humble or beat up or beat down. True humility is that powerful state of mind to where we recognize our limitations and are open to growth and giving credit to others, especially to God. When we are in that humility state, when we can be in gratitude no matter what our circumstances. And if we stay in gratitude, we're open to the abundance that's out there, and constantly then we're inquiring or we're curious about what we're doing. We talk about empowering questions as part of the empowered wealth mindset. And empowering questions, the alert there is anytime I say I need to, I have to, I've got to, can I rephrase that in the form of a question? For example, what can I do today to strengthen my relationship with God? What can I do today to move me closer to having the capabilities or the skills or the talents to be able to do this? What can I do today to help so-and-so? What could I do today? Or can I be the answer to somebody's prayer today? Practice taking that I need to, I have to, I got to, and putting it into the form of a question. It brings humility and it brings curiosity together. And it keeps you out of that scarcity. So that's my challenge for this week. Every time you say I have to, I got to, I've given you this challenge before, replace it with a question. A question is so much more powerful than an answer. It's like what Churchill said. He said it's not in the planning, it's in the plan. It's not in the plan, it's in the planning. And the planning is asking the questions, asking the right questions. So as you go through this week, keep asking yourself, can I rephrase that in the form of a question? And tell me if it doesn't empower you. Have a meaningful week. Have a humble and curious week. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.